Hey, barbecue family!
Happy Thursday, everybody!
How's everybody doing? I'm laughing at the comments in the chat already. I love when you guys get here early and hang out with each other in the chat because it gives us something to read while we're setting up.
It's extremely entertaining.
Yes, it certainly is. How's everybody doing? We've got Maddie, we've got James Bearden, we've of course got Hot Tommy, we've got Tom, and we've got Barbecue Mama. Make sure to say hi to her. She's hanging out in the chat. How's everybody doing today?
Happy Thursday, everybody. We're so happy that you guys are here with us today.
Yeah.
After the snow, we had our first snowstorm this week.
We've had our first snowstorm.
Our first one, and I'm so glad it happened yesterday because if it happened today, we might not have been able to do this today.
Yeah, that was hardly a storm though compared to storms of the past. That was like a baby storm.
I drove in it. I was fine. I've driven in much worse before. As good Canadian gals, we pride ourselves on being able to drive in a snowstorm. Now, we also do say if you don't have to go out, don't go out under those circumstances. But if you do have to go out, drive slow, everybody.
Get 4x4.
Yeah, just kick it into 4x4
if you can. If your truck has 4x4.
We got Marianne in the house. She's saying hi, Maddie and Kiki. Hi, Marianne.
Hi, Marianne. How are you? How's everybody doing?
CJ, we missed you, buddy. It's been a while. We're so happy that you're here.
How's everybody doing? It's Thursday. We're gonna have a real good time with you guys today. We've got Evil Llama. He's saying hey. He's gonna be hanging out in the chat over on TikTok when we got TikTok. How's everybody doing?
Guys, we can't go any further before we talk about who got first on the grill this week. I want to say it's a hat trick for him. He got it 3 weeks in a row. Bat, where are you, buddy? We miss you.
Yeah, what is happening?
But congrats to Paul.
Well, way to go, Paul. He did the old post and ghost again, I think.
He did.
That's his classic lately. And then he goes to bed because he lives in Australia.
He knows he won, and then he's like, night, Will.
He's like,
guys,
yes.
He watches the show the next day because he's tuning in from Australia.
Yeah.
Guys, we have our friends from Canada Beef in the house. They're saying hello, Maddie and Kiki. Hello, guys. We're so happy that you guys are here today. We got Alex joining us. He's saying, hope you have winter tires. I'm going to guess Alex is a Canadian, and most Canadians do have winter tires.
Alex, I do. I drive a pickup truck, and it's been in the shop for like 18 years. Ugh. I would like to have it back. Okay, it's a very old truck, but it's my baby. And I took my partner's truck today, and it was like spectacular.
You just, got yourself here nice.
I did. Yes, I did.
All right, guys. Now, before we even get to how we kick this show off, we got to talk about who's in the house with us. You got Maddie, you got Kiki, and you got the temp. He's the one running the show behind the scenes. He just loves throwing up his graphic. I saw him hovering over it. He was like, "Guys, I'm here."
I'm surprised he waited this long.
I know. I'm surprised he didn't just blast in there with it. But he's here with us. He's helping us run the show today. And guys, do we have a delectable one for you today? We say it every single week, but we ain't lying.
This one is an extra holiday special. This one's like leading up to the holidays. We're gonna get more and more holidays as the weeks go on.
Oh, we're in holiday season through and through already. And we got Kathy saying hi. Almost forgot. Kathy, we're so happy that you're here. You made it just in time to kick off the show the way that we kick it off around here.
I'm surprised you remembered.
Honey, I did. I've been known to forget, but today I'm excited to do it.
No, you're getting better. You're getting better.
Okay, let's do this. Thursday. Yes, it's Thursday. And we have our denim aprons on today. These ones make us extra frisky. I love these ones.
So do I.
Watch. That mic almost went flying.
Yeah, it really did. But it's okay because we're going to have a lot of fun today, guys.
We are going to have so much fun with you guys.
Hi, Charlene.
Today. Hi, Charlene. We're so happy that you're here. Guys, we're happy that you're all here today with us. And we are extra happy that we have our friend back from Canada Beef. It is the one and only. We got Joyce joining the show. Let's welcome Joyce to the show, everybody.
You know her. You love her.
Hi, everybody.
Everybody loves Joyce. How can you not? She's spectacular, Joyce. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, great to be here. And we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, roast beef. So I have poured a lot of energy into knowing how to cook roast beef. So I'm really excited to be here with that. And it's nice to have some Christmas cheer with you guys.
Yes, I totally agree, Joyce. We are ready and rolling with the holiday spirit already around here, as you can see by our beautiful set. And this is such a great recipe to make for the holiday season, in particular, if you're cooking for a smaller crowd this year. Oh. I
Oh,
think
sorry.
she had frozen. Okay, there she
There
is.
we go.
Sorry about
Okay,
that.
so Joyce, do you want to talk to us a little bit more about the cut and what cut we're working with today?
Okay, I sent you on a bit of a mission. You are out to find the Shoulder Clod Petite Tender. And that is a very interesting cut. It comes from the chuck and it's almost like a mini tenderloin. So it's comes from sort of under the shoulder, so it's very tender. It's something that's come out of a French butchery. And if you're lucky to find one, what's really nice about it is it's small, it's cylindrical shape, so it cooks evenly, and then it's nice to have for a small family size. Like if it's just a couple or a couple with some young children, this is really nice, or some empty nesters even. It's not only nice to think about for Christmas, but it's a perfect sort of New Year's Eve special.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. This would be really great for New Year's Eve. I didn't even think that.
New Year's Eve and the holidays in general, they're like interchangeable. Make it twice if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was pleased that we were able to get one or two. I think you said you got a couple.
We got about 5, Joyce. Okay, and the reason for that is because, like you mentioned, it is a bit trickier to find. So once we did find some sources, we were sure to get a few because they aren't always available. In our area anyway, you have to specifically ask for them. So for anybody that is looking for this cut, don't expect to just walk into a butcher and have it there because through our experience, it's not going to be there. You have to call ahead, you have to make arrangements. Sometimes a butcher, it does take them some time to get it in.
But that's why this is even so like good that we're doing this today, because now people can know that, learn from our mistakes, call ahead, and then order it in advance.
That's not going to happen to us again.
No, oh no, definitely not again.
Well, I'm glad you tracked it down. Thank you for your mission.
Yeah, we were really happy to track it down as well. And once we did, like I said, we did buy quite a few because now we know that they're there. It's a fantastic cut to work with. We are hooked for life.
Now, Joyce, you're here today talking about, because the number one question that people, that Canada Beef gets asked is, how do you cook an oven roast? So that's why you're here. You're the best one to tell everybody exactly some tips on how to cook the perfect one.
That's right. We did a bit of a saga just working on these instructions. We worked with agriculture food lab in Lacombe, Alberta, and they did sensory testing for us. They did lab analysis, so we did shear force testing, how tender, how juicy it was. Then we actually, when we got to what we thought was our ideal instruction, we gave it to 20 people to take home and do it in their home and report back to us about what they liked or didn't like about it. So this instruction we have is based on a pretty thorough test, and yes, it is still the number one question we get. And it doesn't matter what time of year. All year long, people are asking us how to cook an oven roast.
Okay, well, I'm so glad that we're sharing these tips today. So hopefully everyone who's watching can go home, get this particular cut, and try their hand at making the perfect oven roast as well.
Yeah, so we're going to skip over the barbecue for this show and get right into the oven. So do you want me to talk about some of the key things we learned?
Yes, let's go over the key tips that we can share with everybody.
Okay, so I'm going to take you through the thought process, like you're from buying to cooking to serving. So the first thing to know is that all roasts aren't the same. There are oven roasts and then there are pot roasts. I made a pot roast last night. It's more like a stew. It's braised in a liquid. You keep the lid on tight. You do it at a low temperature. An oven roast, you use dry heat. So you look for those terms when you're in the store and you're buying. They should have a word on there that says the word oven roast or pot roast. Blade and cross rib, those are pot roasts. Prime rib, sirloin tip, top sirloin, strip loin, tenderloin, those are all oven roasts. And you want to do those with dry heat. So buy the right roast to start with and then roast it right. So
okay, that's a massive tip. You got to start with the right product first and know what you're making here. So that's a
right.
huge one right off the bat.
So the oven roast is going to be what you see sort of in those hotel, buffet type things. The other ones are pull apart, more like what you'd use for pulled beef. The next step is to think about dry heat cooking. So if you're dry heat cooking, you put the roast on a rack in a shallow pan, and we call it the flip the lid or go topless. Don't put a lid on it. Don't put foil over it, because that will actually inhibit browning, and you want browning to develop flavor. So the next big tip we have is to use the thermometer. Those cooking charts, I've done my best to work out cooking charts, but roasts can be so many different shapes. There's square ones, there's flatter ones, there's tubular ones, and it's really the shape that determines the rate of cooking a lot. So you're kind of euchred if you don't have a good thermometer that you're using. So use a thermometer, rely on that to know when the roast is done to the temperature that you like, rather than looking at a scale and figuring out by time. So that's it's a very good investment to get the one that's got a cable and a probe. So then you can monitor, it has a readout, right? A digital readout. So you can monitor how your cooking process is going while it's in the oven without opening and closing the door. Once you open and close the door, you've messed up the heat cycle in the oven. And so it's going to slow down your cooking time, make it less accurate.
We even have some that go to your phone, which is so handy. They tell you right on your
Yes.
phone. You could be sitting on the couch and be like, okay, I don't even need to go worry about this because you can see it right on your phone.
And you set the alarm. So when the alarm goes off, you go get your roast out of the oven. I've been off painting a veranda and roast is in the oven. And, I've got my daughter at home and I say, when you hear that beep, come and get me. And I'll take dinner out of the oven. It's very hands-off cooking.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think that using a thermometer is complicated, then you have to know what to set it to and all that stuff, but it actually takes the guesswork out of it. I find that much easier because then you don't have to know by feel or look or
time. We constantly get asked, how long does it take to make this? And we're like, we can't give you a magical time here. You can roughly estimate, but you always want to cook to temperature, not time.
That's right. So we do 140 or for a medium rare. Some people like it a little more medium rare than that, and we'll do 135. I find my sweet spot's about like 138. And then I take it out.
Joyce is really
I know. I don't know why.
She's like, if it's above 138, no.
She won't have it. She can't. She's not into it anymore.
Anyway, okay. So next up is the temperature. So everyone wants to have a roast nice and brown, and that is what develops flavor. So you can either do that in a pan, season your roast, and either do it on the stovetop in a pan with a little bit of oil, turn it a few times, and get it nice and brown, and then start to put it in the oven. Or you can actually do an oven sear. So then you only have one step, one pan that you're dirty. So you save on some dishes, save on some cleanup. So you put your oven roast into the oven, which has been preheated to 450 for 10 minutes. And we call this an oven sear. Then take your roast out, put the thermometer in, then turn the heat down to 275. I know it sounds low, but this is how restaurants do it. They'll put in a roast almost in overnight and coast it along at a really low temperature. And that's how you get that beautiful even doneness. You don't have like a target where it's gray on the outside and then just red in the center. You'll get a beautiful edge to edge doneness. And it also has proven to be the most juicy and tender roast, and you get the most yield for your money. So you're keeping those juices in the roast. You're keeping that nice and tender, and that's how you get the most for your money out of it.
Which, who's not about that these days? Everybody is.
It almost seems like counterproductive, because I think a lot of people think when I'm making a roast, I need to have it on have the oven on roast, which is like a higher heat. But you're right, Joyce. Once you do it to 275,
you have it off high, lower it, and then just let it coast.
You have to see it to believe it, to see what it does. And thankfully, we are going to show you what it looks like today. But it really does have that perfect doneness right throughout.
Yeah. And then the last crucial tip is, of course, letting your roast rest. You can let it roast, like depending on the size of the roast, you can let it rest for like 30 minutes or more. And if you then go to serve it, if you find it's a little cool, just put it back in the oven and turn up the heat just to warm the outside of it. Make sure you have lots of hot, piping hot gravy, and then carve it into nice thin slices. But if you don't let it rest, it's not finished cooking. Like the juices are still circulating around, and you'll have all the juices run out onto the cutting board, which is not what you want.
The gravy tip, having the piping hot gravy, is like a pro tip, because that's what I always do. It to really let it rest, you got to let it rest. Yes, it might dip in temperature a little bit, but then you throw the gravy on and then everybody's happy, because who doesn't love a hot meal?
And you know what the other restaurant tip is? Have your plates hot.
Okay,
Yes.
that's taking it to the now who's fancy. You're saying Joyce is fancy, now who's fancy?
That's how to do it. Okay, those are some fantastic tips, Joyce. Thank you so much for those. I'm so excited to see what you think of our recipe as we get going along.
And we're going to be sharing more tips on this cut, because I have a lot to talk about this one.
But while we still have you, Joyce, before we let you go, we would love if you would participate in our new segment, Ravenous Rewind, where we talk about flavors from the past, experiences from our childhood, and so on and so forth.
Yes. Okay, so today's question, Joyce, we are excited that you're here, it's very holiday themed.
Okay.
Which dessert was a must-have on your family's holiday table every Christmas?
Oh, I'm from a farm family, so it had to be pie. We had to have a pie at every high holiday dinner. So apple pie, I'd say, was probably the most common one, and also a plate full of all Christmas goodies like fudge and cookies, and we would eat them right out of the freezer. Like they're lucky they made it to the table.
Okay, now my question to you though, Joyce, is was it pies with fruit from the farm? Because that's next level.
Oh, yeah, we had a Duchess apple tree. So I haven't even found Duchess apples. I've only seen them once, I think, since our apple tree passed away. But yeah, it was a Duchess apple tree, and I'm so excited. I've just moved to Brighton, and it is apple country. So
yeah,
lots of opportunity for apple pie.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Okay, that sounds fantastic. Pie, you can't go wrong with a pie. For us, it was a panettone. We're Italian. Our background is Italian, so we always have to have a good old-fashioned panettone. I like the one that has like the dried fruit in it, but I know that's not a crowd pleaser. He loves the chocolate one.
Yeah, or our grandparents would make these little dry, crusty like bread things that were soaked with wine and then tossed and sprinkled.
We're talking faves. That was not on my fave list.
That was on the table, but I didn't like them. They were gross.
Okay, your secret's out now, but that's okay.
Yeah. And fruitcake was another one that had to be part of that sweets tray. I always had to have a fruitcake.
Fruitcake is phenomenal. It gets a bad rep. We got to do a fruitcake.
Yeah.
You rock a phenomenal fruitcake.
It's a little lengthy. It's extensive to make, but they are quite nice. I do like them.
Yeah, yours is really good and really soaked in that alcohol.
Always makes a difference.
Yes, it does. All right, Joyce, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. Now we got to get cooking because this recipe is not going to make itself.
And we only
thank you, ladies.
Short time, but not a long time. But Joyce, thank you very much for being here with us.
Thanks, Joyce. Is she not a treat?
Yes, that
oh my good heavens.
So much fun. It's always fun when Joyce comes by because she brings us so much info about beef. Now, guys, this cut in particular is something that you guys are going to want to add to your must try list. Okay, so we are talking specifically about the Shoulder Clod Petite Tender. Okay, so as we showed you guys, this is what we had up, the graphic of showing you where it actually comes from. And because that part of the animal doesn't get worked that much, it's very, very tender. So this is actually like the same tenderness, almost the same tenderness as a tenderloin. But I will tell you guys, we're going to tell you come further on into the show, the cost difference, because I was absolutely blown away by the cost difference.
So look at the size. This is what it looks like when you can locate one from your butcher. This is what you're looking for. So don't let them give you a different cut, which sometimes happens. If they don't know what this is, if your butcher's like, oh, I'm not really sure, like you have to know what it looks like going in. This is the size that you're looking for. It all looks like this. So as long as you can memorize what this looks like, this is what you're going to find.
That looks like the tenderloin,
but much smaller.
Yes,
it's like a shrunken down version.
But like it literally looks like the same. and it's tender just the same.
And you can tell that it's tender just by looking at it. So this one has already been browned, like Joyce mentioned. That's one of the ways to sear the outside. I've gone ahead and done that because I knew that we'd be pressed for time for today, and we want to make sure that we're going to get this done so you guys can all see what it looks like when it comes out. Hi Annie, hi Freddie, hi Sudsy, hi Eva Llama over on TikTok.
Hi guys, hello everybody. So guys, we have a lot of fruitcake talk happening. So Kathy said my mom is the only person I know that likes fruitcake. Well, Kathy, you can add Key, myself, and Joyce to the list because we love a fruitcake. We just learned that about Joyce as well. And Marianne is letting us know she don't care for it.
Okay.
She don't care for it.
All
okay?
right. Loud and proud about her opinions on fruitcake.
We got JC Grilling and Smoking saying there are good fruitcakes, but most are garbage. Okay, so it depends where you get it, guys. And I'll tell you if this is the gal that's making it for you, you'll love it.
I haven't made one in years, though.
He changed my mind on a fruitcake because, like most things in life, if you make it at home fresh, it's going to be much better.
Okay, so today I don't think we said exactly what we're making. We're talking about the cut. We're making a spiced pecan-crusted petite tender with roast fingerlings and cipollini onions.
It sounds ultra fancy. This is like the theme today, fancy.
Yes. So I'm going to get started on our brush on that we're going to be brushing onto this little roast. So we've got some Canadian maple syrup. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but this is fresh from my farm this season. You got to get the good stuff. Don't get pancake syrup, people. Don't even look at me if you're buying pancake syrup.
Are you trying to one-up Joyce just because she said that her luscious apple pie was made with apples from her farm?
No, I have apples from my farm too.
Yeah,
okay, so Joyce, you're not the only one. Oh, poor Joyce. She's just trying to be such a sweetheart.
Well, and she said that she had Duchess apples, which I've never even heard of those before.
I have heard of Duchess apples, but like Joyce mentioned, I have never seen one yet in our neck of the woods. Although I did just get a tree last year. It's an heirloom apple, and it's called a hidden rose apple. So the inside is all pink.
That's one that you just got.
And a rabbit gnawed off the end of it. So hopefully it comes back this year.
It's gonna take a while to get that one.
It is
in
operation. Yeah. Okay, so to our maple syrup, very, very quick little glaze here. We're going to add in some molasses. These are the flavors of the season. So just a little bit. And then we're going to mix it together and we're going to brush it on. So a lot of time people think if you're crusting a piece of meat, you have to get something to brush on so the crust will stick to it. And a lot of times people think that you can just use mustard. That's like the standard. Everyone's like, oh, get some mustard, throw it on. While mustard is spectacular, we're using pecans, although I think that's a very pretentious way of saying it. I prefer to say pecan.
I say pecan.
I know pecan is not right, but I'm going to say pecan anyway.
I think it's right, and depending on where you're from. Now, guys, as Key does that, I'm going to get rolling on our fingerling taters and our cipollini onions. So I have a lot of chopping to do, so I'm going to get going because this is anyone who loves a meat and potato dinner, a meat and tater dinner, which who doesn't? That's what we're making today. Okay, so these are actually fingerlings from Key's garden.
Thank you.
So look at how, I'm giving them some love, honey. Don't worry. Look at how cute these look. They kind of look like little fingers. So hence that's why they're called that. And I feel like they're also the more fancy tater out there.
Yeah, so those are Russian banana fingerlings. And I don't know what I was thinking. I've mentioned this before. I grew enough potatoes this year. This is what happens to me every winter. I sit inside by the wood stove. I'm not doing much because it's winter and I have all these grand ideas of things I'm going to grow in the garden, not really thinking about the time and effort that it's going to take.
But we're already making short work of them, guys.
Yeah.
We've been eating them a lot. Now, Will Plunk is being an absolute sweetheart, a generous sweetheart. He's sending us a super chat for $20. Will Plunk, thank you so much. We appreciate you, buddy. We're really glad that you're here. And our friends at Canada Beef is letting us know that you can check out the Gateway for more information. And they're also saying you can also find all of Joyce's great oven roast tips on CDNbeef.ca.
Fantastic.
So guys, thank you for letting us know that, guys. Everybody, we have a nice graphic that has where you can find all that stuff on there that the temp is going to put up throughout the show.
I see Hot Tommy mentioning an ambrosia salad. It's so weird because we were talking about that with Joyce earlier about ambrosia is isn't that on a gel salad?
No, it's not.
It's not?
It's
I thought
not.
ambrosia was a gel. We were
I
talking
think
about
it
like
can be. I think it can be, but I don't think it is.
Oh, I thought it was. HT, what's an ambrosia salad? Someone let me know.
I think that, see guys, there we go. CDNbeef.ca to get the recipe and check out the Canadian Beef Information Gateway. You can find our recipes on there, and you can find tons and tons of so many recipes on the Canadian Beef Information Gateway.
Okay, so for our crust, we've got some pecans here that I've already broken down in the food processor into like a fine meal. So you don't need to roast these because they're going in the oven anyway. So that step's gonna be taken care of. You just want to pulse them down, and you're gonna turn them out onto a tray. So ideally, it would be nice to do this all in the food processor to break down the rosemary, but that's too loud. So I'm just going to chop up the rosemary and add it to our pecan mixture here.
Yeah, great idea, buddy. Okay, so guys, now I want to hit you with some more info on the Shoulder Clod Petite Tender. First of all, I want to know if anyone has tried this cut. Let us know in the chat if you're watching on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Insta, anywhere where you guys are at, if you've had this before by putting in a little beef emoji, okay? And if you're watching on a computer and you can't put an emoji, just say yes that you've tried it, okay? So I want to know because it's not a common cut. As you guys can see, she went all over everywhere trying to locate this cut, and it was very difficult. Look at her face.
We were
panicking. We were like, we don't know if we're going to be able to locate it, but we found it at 3 locations eventually.
Yes, I didn't end up getting it from one of the locations, but yeah, we did find it at 3. It was a bit of a wild goose chase.
Well, thank goodness that you got it, buddy. I haven't seen anyone say that they've had it yet, so I'm not surprised. It's very uncommon. So guys, like we showed you, it's shaped a bit like a mini tenderloin. It's one of the most tender cuts of beef that is super flavorful since it comes from the shoulder area. And it's great for a small crowd. Now, if I haven't won you over with those tips yet, and if all the information that Joyce shared, let's talk about price, okay? Because I specifically looked this up so I could share this with you guys, okay? So it's very interesting, the price tag. So guys, we all know beef tenderloin is a pretty price tag. We usually save it for the holidays or a special occasion. This though, I think you can make this more than you think. It sounds fancy, but it's not. So for instance, beef tenderloin costs about, on my source that I found online, for 6 ounces, it's $23. Okay, so 6 ounces is a small little steak, a reasonably sized piece, $23. Okay, for the petite tender, 6 ounce, guess how much?
You tell me.
Okay, you bought a million of them and you still can't guess.
I did.
$6. Guys, $6 for a 6 ounce, $23 for a 6 ounce. You tell me which one you're trying, and that they have the same tenderness and very similar flavor.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of a difference. I should stop doing that because that's when things go off the rails.
Is that not so awesome? I saw that. I was like, okay, we shouldn't be talking about this too loudly because people are going to find out, and then it's going to be raised up in price.
Yeah, that is what's going to happen. That's always
what's this her little secret.
Yeah. But the thing is, the reason why this is like this, there is only one. Actually, no, there's 2 of these per animal, right? Because there's one on each shoulder side. So then that's why like these are very like you can't just walk into a butcher and expect there to be like a million of them.
No, that's why you got to call ahead.
Exactly.
We have Robert joining us saying, I'm just walking into the grocery store and he's bringing us along with him. Thank you, Robert. He said,
Hi, Robert.
To add more ingredients to the list. Yes, Robert.
Yes.
Guys, this is what this show does sometimes. It really adds to your grocery list. We have James in the house saying, Kiki, do you leave your rosemary in the ground over the winter?
Very good question, James. I don't. You can keep, so technically you may have some luck doing that. But you can also have luck with taking it out and potting it up and bringing it into the house, and it will last longer that way. But I find rosemary is very temperamental. It's like lavender. It sometimes comes back, sometimes it doesn't. It needs like very ideal. It's very like tricky to have it keep going.
I didn't grow rosemary this year, but I have grown it in the past. And I've left it just because I'm lazy, just left it in my herb garden, and it pops up throughout the winter still.
Especially in our climate.
I'm like, I'm not even trying to do anything here, and it's doing wonderfully. And then when like something that you really want to grow, it doesn't do as good. So I don't get, sometimes that's just how growing is, guys.
Yes. Yeah,
okay, so as HT is pointing out, I am doing quite a bit of work here. Okay, HT, he's saying let's all watch Kiki work. Just because Kiki is doing a lot over there, I also have a lot that's happening here. I want to talk to you guys about these. Okay, these are called cipollini onions, and they are also hard to locate. I'm going to be honest; these are not at the grocery store all year round. These are, you typically see these in the fall. And I will tell you guys, this is a sweeter onion. It's a more tender onion. And when you find them, this is what we always do. When we find them, even if we don't have any plans to make them, we just get them because you can't get them all the time. They are like a delicacy still. So,
yeah. And okay, so I'm glad someone brought that up. Maddie's saying they are a pain to peel. I got a little tip for you guys.
Yes,
they are a pain to peel.
Yes, they are.
If you've ever bought cipollinis, so you don't have to cut them in half. You can serve them whole. The great thing about cipollinis is that they're very sweet onions.
Yep.
And because they're so tiny, you can leave them whole. They're almost bite size, a lot of them.
We're just gonna cut them in half just like that. You don't have to.
It makes for a really nice presentation. But the thing is, in order to get the skins off very, very easily, get a pot of water boiling, chuck them in 30 seconds, drain them into an ice bath, let them cool, the skins slip right off.
Any of the small onions. So if you can't find these ones, you can go with a pearl. They're not going to be the same.
I can't stand those.
Yeah, pearls are even worse. These, at least you can grab them and you can like actually peel them easily. Pearls take forever.
I don't buy pearls. I'm not interested in them.
I do
small.
sometimes, but these are, because these are like fancy, and these are, you can only get these served. Like, this is we didn't mean to go with a fancy theme, but I think it's because Joyce had on her fancy outfit, her fancy vest. It's going with it perfectly.
Yeah.
Because these are fancy too.
Okay, so we've got our pecans, we've got some orange zest, flavors of the season here. We've got orange zest, we've got some fresh rosemary, and you can go, rosemary is one of those herbs that goes really well dried too. If you don't have fresh, you could use dried, that's fine. And then we're going to add in some nice warming spices. So if you make spiced nuts, who doesn't like some spiced nuts around the holidays? We're going to add in a little bit of nutmeg, just a little bit. You don't want to add too much that's making your guests be like, are we eating some potpourri here? Just a tiny bit.
You can really overdo it with that.
Nutmeg is really giving potpourri. So you can overdo it. Some nutmeg, some cinnamon.
Thank you, Tom. Tom's saying pecans? Yeah, I don't like it. To me, it's pecan.
No, pecan is pretentious.
Guys, look at how gorgeous these look. And that took me 2 seconds. We're just going to hit them with a little bit of olive oil. And we have Walter joining us saying, what's for lunch? Sorry I'm late. Anybody joining? Just joining right now. Guys, we are making our spiced pecan-crusted petite tender beef roast with fingerlings and cipollini onions.
Yes.
As usual, our recipes are a mouthful to say, and they are usually easier to make than they are to say. You can make this quicker.
And you don't have to serve this roast with the fingerlings and cipollinis. If you wanted to make this for your holiday dinner and serve it with traditional sides that your family makes, all the power to you.
Who doesn't love a meat and tater dish, though?
Yes.
Guys, we're just going to add some salt on the top, and I'm also actually going to add a little bit of fresh rosemary. But like we've shared many times before, if you didn't have fresh, go for some dried. Dried rosemary is spectacular.
All right, so we've got our oven preheated. So Joyce talked about this a little bit, but this is going to go in at a very low temperature of 275 degrees.
Thanks for preheating me, bud.
I did. They're both going. Your bottom's ready to go. I don't know why I'm getting heat.
I'm just looking for a reason to hate on Key.
My goodness.
You didn't do mine, but she did, guys. My little sister, everybody.
I got you.
She got me. Okay, I'm just going to roughly chop this.
Okay.
And guys, actually, I'm just actually going to throw those in whole, because sometimes you just want the flavors.
I would prefer it if you chopped it.
You do?
I would prefer it. I don't want it.
Okay,
whole.
you
We're
don't
not throwing
have
it
to
in
though.
whole.
You can just leave it on there, because sometimes if you just want like the flavors, leave it on there, let it do its thing. And then, okay, Key is saying it's a hard no. Key gets what Key wants.
If you leave it on, it's just going to singe on the top, and it's not going to be throughout, and it's not going to be good.
I was going to put it underneath, and if you put it with oil, it's perfectly fine. But
it's not perfectly fine.
It's
perfectly not fine. Please
okay,
stop
Tom
it.
is saying
fight.
Temp is encouraging a fight. And Temp, is this your first day on the job, buddy? Tom's saying Maddie woke up and chose to argue today.
Yes, she did.
Guys,
She did.
With Key, sometimes she brings out my spunkiness. Key is the spunky sister between the two
We
of
grew
us.
up together, pal. You had to be spunky to survive in our family.
Very, very true. Not had. It's still a battle, baby.
Yeah, barbecue mom is the source. She's the worst one. Okay, so here's our little roast. We've got our molasses and maple syrup glaze brushed over the top. And then all we're going to do is crust it and roll it actually in the pecan mixture to crust it around. And yes, I'm going to continue to say pecan because I'm representing for all the people out there that prefer to say pecan.
Betty, you've said it both ways before, pal.
And I'm one of them. I like
to say you say it both ways.
I feel like I can't say pecan. I don't know why. I find that hard to say.
Tom is saying, I was here earlier, but people keep calling me. Okay, so Tom wants credit. He was here on time. So Tom, we'll give it to you, buddy.
All right.
We will give it to you. Okay. Guys, look it. Key gets what Key wants. Check out the fineness on this rosemary right here. Look, nice and fine. We're just gonna throw it right over the taters. Look.
Thank you.
Okay, and then we're just gonna mix them up.
Okay, let me just wash up. I've got our roast in our tray here. It's hard to orchestrate this recipe in a smaller space here, but we're going to make it happen.
Okay, HT is also sending a super chat and saying, congrats, 50 episodes of After Dark. So much fun. I know,
I can't believe we're there.
I can't believe it's at 50. Thank you so much, HT. I'm going to actually hit our After Dark bell, or our super chat bell for HT and for Will.
Okay.
I forgot. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
And I just love that thing.
Thank you. Thank you guys very much for sending that. We appreciate it. It helps to grow our channel. Thank you. Okay, so this is our crusted petite tender ready to rock and roll. We've got our oven set up for, as I mentioned, I had already browned this before we put on the glaze. And then we're going to put this in the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes. Like Joyce mentioned, you want to make sure that you have a meat thermometer. We're not going to just set a timer for 30 minutes and check on it because you're not going to be seeing anything.
No, absolutely not.
You have to use a meat thermometer. Even better if you have one of the probe ones that go, like Joyce said, that goes in the side. And if
Good job, Temp. He's got it up there. That looks fantastic.
If not, this one's an instant read. You can set it to like whatever you're aiming for and hit OK. And then it will tell you when it's ready.
Okay,
so
guys,
we're gonna add it in here.
In the chat, is it Tom's actual birthday today? Tom, are you joking with us? A lot of people like to say it's their birthday on the show, and it never actually is. But Tom, is it your actual birthday? Because if it is, happy birthday.
I don't know if I believe that.
I know, it's hard to believe this crew sometimes, okay?
Okay, so I'm nice and cleaned off. Now I've got our roast in the oven. Who is ready to go for a dip dive?
Yes, I could too. I'm actually gonna get these into the grill too.
We've got someone named Unitas saying hello from Chicago. Found your channel after getting the Ninja wood fire.
Awesome, Unitas.
Look at, we're using the Ninja today. This one's not the wood fire. This is like the indoor version.
We're ninja'd out around here. We have tons of Ninja around here.
Now, a note on that too. If you are using the Ninja for this, watch it more because Ninja cooks things faster. So it's not your traditional oven.
That's why we also love it though too.
That's why you have a meat thermometer.
Yes.
Get on top of it.
That's true. Okay, so Tom did actually say it's his birthday. Tom, we're going to dedicate this episode to you then, buddy, okay? Happy birthday, Tom.
I'm going to need to see some ID, Tom.
Tom is actually an After Darker, so Tom, we will see you after the show as well. We can continue the celebration there.
Not going to sing happy birthday,
guys,
though.
check it out. I'm sorry, does that not look incredible? Those cipollini onions are worth it.
They are
totally worth it.
They get nice and cooked down and caramelized. In this recipe, if you go on the Canada Beef website to find it, you'll see at the very end, we're going to add in a little bit of balsamic vinegar. And it gives you those like chips and malt vinegar vibes.
Yes.
But with the onions.
Guys, everybody's saying happy birthday to Tom. And did I see that Mike Bierman said it's his birthday coming up too? Guys, let's start the birthday celebrations again. Guys, anyone who has a birthday coming up shortly, please send us a picture of yourself with a direct message and we will play them on the show for birthday celebrations.
Yeah, I don't know why we stopped doing that.
I would love to do that. Okay, I'm going to throw these in the oven.
Okay. Who is ready for a dip dive? I could go for a dip dive now that I've got my roast in and it's hanging out. It's doing its thing.
Wash up.
Okay. Here we go into the bread box of questions. Let's see what we got today. Oh, that's smelling good already. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, that does smell good already.
Okay, so this is coming to us from someone. I don't know why I want to lean on this cutting board. That's probably not what I should be doing. Okay, this is coming to us from someone named Mike Cooks Barbecue over on TikTok. The question is, what is one thing you wish you could do that you know you probably never will?
Ooh. Read
Good
it
question.
again. Read it again.
Hi, Corey.
Hi, Corey.
Okay, here's the question. What is one thing you wish you could do that you know you probably never will? I think that has a negative slant to
stumper.
it.
I know. Why do you
how do you-
automatically know that you're never going to do it, but you want to do it?
Yeah.
You want to, oh, actually, I kind of have one.
Okay, give me one.
I kind of have one. I want to hear what other people have to say, though.
Give me it.
Okay, HT said he has a birthday coming up. HT is the one that started this birthday scandal. Okay, he says it's his birthday every single show.
He's turned 40 like 100 times. Hi, Mike Bierman, skydiving.
Yes, Mike Bierman. That's such a good one. Oh,
Okay.
Corey, sing happy birthday to Tom. Okay, Yavin Evil Llama, thank you for clarifying. We're looking for PG answers only, people. Okay, keep
Sometimes
it clean,
I need a
people.
reminder of that.
Yes, and I'm looking at Key, okay, because we all know she can go off the rails too. Everybody saying happy birthday to Tom. Okay.
Aww.
Marisol is saying swim with nurse sharks. Cool, Marisol. Can you do that? That sounds like you do it once and maybe it's over.
That is a good one. Yeah, that's what they say about eating wild mushrooms. You can eat them all except some only once because you will.
It's lights out.
It is.
Okay,
gotta know what you're doing.
Oh my goodness, Gary. Gary is saying eat a meal cooked by Maddie and Kiki. Gary, why are you saying you want to do that, but it will never happen? Who knows, buddy? We could do it.
Okay, give me yours. What was yours?
Okay, so instantly, as soon as I was saying this sounds negative, I have one that that I would answer to this.
What?
Okay, so as you guys know, I've shared on the show many times before. Yes, Kathy, that's such a cool one. This is kind of what I'm saying. Kathy said be a cast member on SNL because I think I'm hilarious. I love that, Kathy. That is such a cool one. That's kind of along the lines of what I was going to say. So I've shared on the show many times that I am a massive comedy nerd.
Yes, she is.
All the comedy specials, the second they come out, I watch them. I consider myself a comedy connoisseur, but I am a watcher. I am not doer. I'm not a doer when it comes to comedy. But
you're funny.
You
could do it.
Yeah, but it's not about comedy. Is one of those things.
Temp's
Why
laughing.
is the Temp laughing at this? I know. Thank you, Temp. Comedy is one of those things that you have to suck at it for like at least 6 years before you get good. And I don't know if I'm willing to do that.
Okay, I could see it.
So I like to be entertained by it. I don't know if I would do it. So I would want to do it, but I don't think I'm ever going to do it. So I think that's my answer for that.
I don't know how they do it. I would be drenched in sweat up there. People weren't laughing.
Yeah, there's a classic joke by Jerry Seinfeld where he says most people rather be because people are so afraid of public speaking. It means that they rather be in the casket at
a funeral.
Rather than do the eulogy. So they're more afraid of public speaking than they are of dying.
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, I could totally see it.
That's like one of his classic things. So I don't know. It's a scary thing to do, but that's what my answer is. Honey, what's yours?
I got one, which I don't know if I never will, but I think, but there.
Yeah, I don't know. The never part is throwing me off here because Maddie's saying get up and do it.
I don't know if I never will do this, but I have always really wanted to go on like a solo hiking trip. Somewhat dangerous over a long period of time.
A long period of time?
Yeah, like months at a time in the wilderness by myself. I don't think I will do that for a number of reasons.
I don't think I'm allowing you to do that, and I don't think Barbecue Pops is, or Barbecue Mama, or me.
I have a family that I do. That
and
I don't think.
You're 36 years old, and I'm saying I forbid it.
Yeah, okay. So I don't think my family would like it. B, I have a medical condition, so I'm afraid of like if I get hurt.
Exactly, buddy.
What would happen? And C, I just think it is like, I hate to say this because it's 2024, but as a woman, I feel like it is still very dangerous.
It's a fact, buddy. It
still is very
dangerous. I agree with that one. Marianne is saying skydiving, cage diving with great white sharks. We got some adventurous gals in the house. Okay, Marisol and Marianne are saying that. JC Grilling and Smoking is saying hike the PCT.
Yes.
And AT. What is the PCT?
The Pacific Crest Trail. That's what I wanted to hike too.
Cool,
but guys, that one goes all the way from Mexico to Canada. The Pacific Crest Trail.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So it takes about like 8 months to do it. So you have to take like a time out from your life. But again, I don't know. I'm just scared. I'd be scared to do it for a variety of reasons.
Oh, Mike Bierman.
What?
Oh, he's like, We do not want you to do this. We need you to stay here with us.
Oh, my heart.
I know. Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh no.
Oh goodness.
Okay, let
and
me just-
HT's letting you know, of course, I'm not surprised at this. HT saying, Kiki, I will go with you for protection because you guys know HT is actually our real life security guard.
He is.
He is.
Yeah, he is.
Marianne saying, Kiki, you would have to go with a group of people that could help you along the way. Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Because that's not the same.
I know, but buddy, it's
That's not
achieving
the
that
same.
and doing it, but in a safer mode.
First of all, I'm antisocial at the best of times.
True.
Never mind if I'm like deprived of sleep and like stressed out.
Tem, can we see what CJ said? CJ answered too, and I thought I saw a gambling answer. Not surprised, CJ. I want to gamble with Maddie and Kiki in Vegas. CJ, why are you sick? Guys, there's a never component here. CJ, we can make it happen.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah, no, that's not out of the
And
question.
I think that we will make it happen. I would love to hit Vegas with CJ because he's an expert on Vegas.
I've heard.
He is.
Okay, let's see here. Hot Tommy saying Kiki likes to be alone. Hot Tommy, you got that right.
All right, guys, as we continue to read people's answers, let's kick it into, I'm ready to kick it off with Cheers to the Weekend. We're just doing a lot of waiting
Okay.
for these to kick off and get ready.
All right, it's time for a beverage. People on TikTok are just saying chili for some reason. Is that where you're from?
Oh, cool.
Let us know.
Guys, we always like that. We always like to know where people are from.
Yes, let us know in the comments on TikTok or wherever you're watching from, where you are from and what time it is there, because we get very fascinated by that.
Yeah, I don't know why, but we love a good time zone chat. Gary saying I'm not too far from Vegas. Gary, that would be so cool. That would be super cool. If you come by, we all go by, we all do a barbecue family meetup. And Marisol saying, Kiki, I would hike with you.
Oh, Marisol, let's do it.
Okay, and Evil Llama is already saying needs more alcohol. Guys,
This is an alcoholic one.
I'm not surprised, guys. We are kicking
Okay.
we're kicking it off into Cheers to the Weekend, guys. Are we ready to do this?
I'm ready. Okay, Christian is saying they are from Chile. And we've got Gwenda saying they're from Nova Scotia, fellow Canadian over there. Yeah,
Cool.
Gwenda. And it is 1:47. Okay, so you're an hour ahead of us over there in Nova Scotia. I don't know why I'm acting surprised. I was just in Nova Scotia, and the time difference is like what I can handle. An hour,
Yeah.
perfectly doable. Anything
Mike
more than that,
Bierman is letting us know it's 2:17 p.m. there.
Okay.
So cool, Mike Bierman. Okay, so guys, we have another great Cheers to the Weekend coming at you guys. This is an alcoholic version. So we have a new graphic for that. Just like we did for Key last week. I'm
Maddie's
trying,
like the temp.
like the
play
temp,
it.
wake up or else this drink is not for you. Okay. So guys,
Leave 'em
as
alone.
you guys know, I do the alcoholic drinks around here. Okay. Key does, we offer a nice like a variety of just different beverages. Key did a sober one last week. So guys, let us know what you want to see too in
Yeah.
terms of cocktails. Today
We
we're
be
doing
boozing.
we be boozing.
We be boozing today.
Okay. Today's one is called a vanilla mule. Okay, so this stuff, I want to know if anyone has had this stuff before. This is a classic. This is a classic liqueur. It's called Galliano. It's a vanilla flavored liqueur. And it's extremely, if you love the flavors
Bring
of
it.
vanilla, which who doesn't? I'd like to know, does anyone here not like vanilla?
You know what? That would be good in baking.
Yes, but
Like
okay,
a substitute for vanilla extract.
there was a lot of talk about the fruit cake. That would be great in the fruit cake.
Yeah,
People
that would
saying
be
they
really
don't like a
good.
fruit cake.
Yeah, but fruitcake has rum. You need like a lot of rum in a fruitcake.
Why can't you have both?
Yeah, you could.
Maddie, not surprised. He's saying love Galliano. Lance is saying that he loves Cheers to the Weekend, the Cheers to the Weekend graphic.
Yes, I do too.
And CJ's letting us know my nickname was Vanilla Mule. Okay, CJ.
Okay, so what makes something a mule? Is it just like a type of?
Okay, so a mule, basically, I was inspired by you last week because, guys, if you watched last week's episode, Key made a cocktail that had ginger beer in it. Which, when you hear ginger beer, you think alcoholic, but it actually does not have alcohol in it.
I love ginger beer. I'm addicted now.
So a Moscow mule is like the traditional mule. This one is a vanilla mule. Okay,
Did you
so we're
take my
gonna go
tongs?
into. Yes, I did.
Here we go.
Evil Llama, is that enough for you? Okay, I forgot the shot glass, so
What's
we're
the
just
proof on this stuff?
eyeballing it.
Is it like a?
This is 30%.
Okay.
This
So
is
just-
30%. Michelle's in the house. Michelle McAdoo's joining us. She's saying, love a mule cocktail. Michelle, have you tried this one before? I think this one is actually fairly new, if I must say so.
Okay, so
I
you
didn't
started
invent
saying,
this
does a
one.
mule include something ginger?
Yes. Okay, so a mule usually typically is ginger beer, lime juice, and vodka.
Oh.
Okay. Or ginger ale. So what we're doing today is we're swapping out the vodka, adding in the Galliano, and adding in some ginger ale, which I don't know about you guys, but the flavors of ginger ale to me are holiday.
Yes.
Those are like this. That's what makes this like a holiday cocktail to me.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. Even just that.
That is gonna be
But
stiff.
Not enough for some people around here.
Evil Llama says the temp isn't driving after this. No, he is not.
Okay, I get flack if I don't do it. I get flack if I do. Evil Mama, I
Where
don't know
are
what
my
to do here.
tongs?
Oh, they're under there.
Oh,
They're under there.
buddy.
Okay, so guys, we're gonna add a piece of lime right here on the side for our garnish. But we also are going to put some lime juice in the actual cocktail as well. And it's very simple. I think a lot of people are really into the already made cocktails these days, but
Yeah.
I love making my own cocktail. Oh, that's a juicy lime. That is a real juicy lime.
I think people have grown very accustomed to having things at the ready. Like, I feel like that, like, you remember that book if you give a mouse a cookie? Do you remember that book? And it's like, then if you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to want more. I feel like that's like society today. You give them a little, they're going to keep
your own.
Why not?
Everybody's saying cheers. I love it. Now, guys, this is like, if you don't have this isn't a make or break, but just to top it with a little bit of Angostura bitters, a little goes a long way. Don't go nuts on that stuff, okay? And then we're just going to give it a stir with our straw, and I will gladly taste this for you guys before I head off to give it to the temp.
Tom's in the temp will be sleeping in the bunker tonight.
Does it look that stiff, guys?
It does.
Not much
To me. And Michelle saying, next time try the Canada Dry ginger beer. Ooh, I didn't know Canada Dry had a ginger
Leave
beer.
it to Michelle, bringing us tips. Michelle, thank you so much. I've been obsessed with this one because this is 0 sugar. And guys, this stuff is very, very sweet. So this is a sweet cocktail. That's why I went heavy. I'm just gonna actually even add more ice because I like the ice to dilute it down a little bit. But does that not look so good? So quick, so easy, and so perfect for holiday. Honey, can you show TikTok? Because TikTok didn't see 1 ounce of that.
Yeah, sorry guys. Here we go.
Guys.
This is the beautiful drink that Flirty Murdy has made. It looks beautiful, honey. I love that you've matched the straw to the lime. Did you do that on purpose?
Yes, I did, and I appreciate you noticing.
Everything's calculated
I hope
with
that
this
you guys
girl.
all did as well. Okay.
I love it, honey. That looks really, really great. Okay, so I just checked on our taters and our onions.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Is it that good?
Yes, because I don't understand.
Can I smell it?
Yes, take a smell. The ginger comes through. So if Michelle's saying there's a stronger ginger beer, because I feel like ginger ale does have a nice ginger flavor, but I love the flavor of ginger. I say next time, Michelle, I'm on the hunt to find that. She's saying, do you deliver to Toronto? I wish we did. Because I think this goes so good. Vanilla and ginger and a little bit of sourness from the lime. And the Angostura bitters just give it a little bit of extra something special. Now, I'm just going to take one more sip and then it's
easy. That's mine.
I feel like ginger beer is nice because it has the flavor of ginger ale, but with a little bit of like
give this to the temp.
fermented funkiness.
It pains me to bring this to him. I want to keep it.
You can keep it, or you can make 2. Honey.
True.
Make 2 next time. Okay, so our potatoes and onions are not done. The roast is not done, but you are in luck because we knew they wouldn't be done and we thought ahead because we can't have it. So you guys are not going to see what the finish
guys, this one
like.
you need to see. Okay. Mike Bierman's letting us know Canada Dry has a cranberry ginger ale 0. I picked up a case yesterday. Mike Bierman, I've heard of that. I haven't been able to locate it.
That sounds really good.
Okay, I would definitely like to try that too. I've seen it or I've heard of it, but I haven't actually seen it.
Okay, are we ready for the grand finale of what this is going to look like?
Fritz Frank's in the house. Hi, Fritz Frank.
Hi, Fritz Frank.
We missed you. Where are you? He's on Insta, but he's still here, guys. He's here joining us. I have a feeling he's just dipping in for a second. And Marianne is greeting him on there. God, those two are so cute.
Let me just add more time here because we're running. There we go.
Guys, even that little bit of time,
there we go.
The taters are crisping up, but let's see what this looks like because we want to show you guys what this looks like. And more importantly, I would like to taste the tenderness and tell you guys about it.
Oh my goodness. This is what it looks like when it's finished.
Gorge.
Beautiful, cooked to perfection.
That looks fake.
It does look fake.
That literally looks fake to me.
So this is what Joyce was talking about when you cook a roast at a low temperature and you don't stir it out really hot on the outside. You don't start out super hot and then you get that bullseye that she was mentioning where it's gray on the outside and just pink on the inside. That's pink all the way throughout. Beautifully cooked, nice crunchy potatoes with the cipollini onions. We're going to get Mad to try this.
I'm going to need Honey to make me a plate.
Okay. It's always nice when you can, where are the tongs? Why do these keep disappearing?
Canadian Beef, they're joining us in the chat. They're saying, awesome job, gals. This roast looks so delicious. Guys, does that not look spectacular?
Oh, I just dropped a lot of taters.
Do not drop the taters, honey. I would like to try those too. Eva Llama saying that's a work of art. Guys, that literally looks like that should be its own emoji.
I know.
Like, I think it's time that there gets to be like a platter of a roast beef as an emoji. I would use that. I would use that all the time.
Look at how beautiful that looks.
Everybody's saying this looks amazing. Kathy's saying it looks good. James is saying, oh my goodness, I'm starving. I'm driving my backhoe to the bunker. James wants to come down here. James, come on over, buddy. This is a small roast, but I feel like it still could beat a crowd.
I love that he chose a backhoe as his mode of transportation.
He's on it right now. Why not? Okay, guys, take a little look-see here. I'm going to show you guys that we have this knife here, but it probably doesn't need it because look at how tender that is.
You can even tell from just what it looks like that it's super tender. Even just from what, and it's super, super juicy.
Look. That didn't hardly need any. Look, guys. Oh my goodness gracious.
Okay, so we've got a question on TikTok. YYGBA saying, where are the potatoes from? PEI? No, they're from Ontario. They're grown right here on my farm.
We absolutely love PEI taters. Shout out to PEI potatoes though. Good Canadian tater.
And that's where we do get our taters when I haven't grown them actually. Because those are really great taters.
We love those taters. Now, guys, I'm gonna give this a try. And let everybody know what this is like.
Okay. Oh. It looks super tender. You can tell just by looking at it. That crust?
The crust.
What's it like?
But yeah, it's not taking away from the beef.
Okay. Nice warming spices. Is it like a bowl of spiced nuts, but better?
It's like a bowl of spiced nuts, but around the most tender, succulent piece of beef. Now, I do need to say, I'm afraid that now that we've done this show, the butchers are going to see it and they are going to raise it up because, guys, I like the current price tag of the Shoulder Clod Petite Tender.
Yeah.
If this gets raised up, that's not fair. Okay. This is such a great price and for such a great cut.
Okay. So now give me some of the taters. I'm going to need to sample all of it.
Oh, okay. I almost went in with this.
Okay. And the cipollinis. If you have not yet had cipollini onions, they are a delight. They're very tender. They're super sweet. If you can find them, they are tricky to find, but they are.
This is what I like to do. Take a little look. Tell me who's with me on this. I know you're out there. The type of people that put everything on a bite and make their own perfect little bite there. Who else does this? Because I do it.
So you could absolutely serve this with the sauce, but I don't feel like it needs it. With the crust, there's already so many flavors happening. Okay.
If you would hit it with a gravy, it ain't gonna hurt it. I love a gravy.
Okay, the temp is really trying to make pet pause happen right now. I looked up, he was like,
is that what you were doing?
Yeah, I got it. Me and the temp got it. I see. Okay.
I missed it, guys. I'm in beef heaven right now. Okay?
It's time for pet pause.
Oh my goodness, guys. So many cuties right here. We got Nelly. We got Guadalupe. That's Kiki's baby Lupe. We got Buddy and we got little Ricky.
Look at that little chubbo.
Which, guys, I will tell you, I heard on the radio over here. Shout out to Boom, 97.3. They let us. They were talking about the popular cat names, and apparently Ricky is the most popular cat name. I'm like, my baby is unique. Okay, I thought he was a little unique boy, and apparently that's the most popular cat name this year.
I've never heard of any other cat named Ricky.
Thank you.
Weird.
I was shocked at that as well. My baby's name is Little Ricky, so that makes it a little bit more unique.
And I can guarantee you they're not like your baby because he's a troll.
He's a little brat that only a mother could love. Okay, he bites. He's aggressive, but he's my sweet little angel.
He's
Now, guys,
gotten into multiple food stuffs throughout time.
Mhm.
He's got into a bag of Doritos.
he has a cat advent calendar that right now we're going through. He apparently attacked it and tried to get into it in the night.
I
He's a
I
bad
can't
boy.
say I'm surprised.
Guys, Canada Beef is saying, love the combination of flavors. That's the best way to enjoy this recipe. I completely agree, guys. You guys definitely need to add this one to your holiday feast because it was so good. And I'm sorry, anything that doesn't break the bank these days, especially grocery wise, why not?
Yes, absolutely spectacular. This is such a winner.
Mhm.
If you'd like the recipe for this dish, visit CDNbeef.com.
CDNbeef.ca, guys.
Oh, .ca, sorry.
The website is up right here, CDNbeef.ca.
There we go.
You guys can check that out. Like I said, many other recipes are on there. Ours, many of our recipes as well. And
Yeah.
there's so many other recipes to choose from.
Yep. So thank you guys so much for joining us. This hour has absolutely flown by. If you are joining us on Maddie and Kiki After Dark, we will see you there. And if not, have a spectacular Friday and weekend, and we will see you guys
Thanks
next week.
for being here with us, guys. We love you guys.
Bye, guys. Have
Bye,
a great
everybody.
one.
Happy